As the film begins, we see a girl tied upside down to a table. Her feet were trembling uncontrollably. She tried to scream in pain, but no sound came out. It became clear that someone had injured her mouth. There were large wounds on her body, which two people were stitching. Not because she needed treatment, but this was also a way to torture them. One of them stitched the girl's wounds, while the other kept reopening them and repeatedly pricking her with a needle, and in this way, the girl was given pain again and again. Now the scene cuts, and we are shown the time of 1609. At this time, Elizabeth Bede rules over the kingdom of Hungary. A woman, her beauty, bravery, courage and luck were discussed throughout the kingdom. All the girls considered her to be their role model. The girls were also considered very lucky whoever she selected to work in her castle. Similarly, today a girl named Lady Margit has come to this castle, whom Elizabeth Bede herself has chosen as her personal assistant. This is why Lady Margit's family assumes her very lucky. Lady Margit is also from a royal bloodline, but financially her situation is not very good. Elizabeth's special maid, Ava, went to pick Lady Margit herself from her house. Lady Margit herself was very happy to come to the castle. When she saw that Elizabeth herself had come down to welcome her, she was overjoyed beyond words. In this happiness and excitement, she did not even notice how strange everything around her was. Every girl working here is nervous and everyone has fear in their eyes. There was a strange silence in this castle. And then a maid takes something from there and her basket accidentally falls. When it fell, she panicked badly. Leaving her, Ava also panicked badly and quickly started collecting all those things with that maid. And while collecting these things, she was injured by something sharp. Anyway, here Elizabeth herself holds Lady Margit's hand and brings her inside the castle. Margit had not yet come out of shock that the Queen Elizabeth she had heard stories about, today she is in front of her and is treating her like a special guest. Although she has come here as a secretary, a servant, Queen Elizabeth also tells Margit the story of this castle, which her husband had gifted her. Queen Elizabeth was only 11 years old and exceptionally beautiful when she got married. The king, on the other hand, was the bravest knight and warrior in all of Hungary. Because of this, the examples of their couple were given, but then, as if under a curse, the king fell ill and passed away, leaving this world. While talking about this, Queen Elizabeth becomes emotional. That's why Ava brings Margit to her room. This room was very big, very luxurious, where she tries to talk to Ava a lot. But the strange thing was that Ava was not answering any of her questions. She considered Lady Margit special and considered herself ordinary. Then Lady Margit says to her, "I do all the work in my own house, like a maid. So what's the difference between you and me?" Ava replies, "Whoever you are, your bloodline is royal and I am from an ordinary family. Our friendship can never be. Anyway." Here Margit starts talking about Elizabeth. She starts praising her, how good she is, how much protocol she is giving, without noticing that Ava's expression is completely different from her words. Ava leaves the room without answering any questions. After this, we see Ava with Queen Elizabeth. They were still talking about Lady Margit. Queen Elizabeth was happy that Margaret is from a royal bloodline, and even better that she is pure. What is the benefit of being from a pure or royal bloodline? We will find out later. After all this, Ava starts applying some face paint to the queen. It was like a red blusher. Ava first applied this blusher on one cheek of the queen, and before applying it on the other cheek, she was scared because her product was over. Being feared, Ava tells the queen that her product is over. The queen becomes furious, and while controlling her anger, the queen only says, "You know, I don't like this thing to end, and its supply is your responsibility." Now the queen doesn't do anything wrong. Ava squeezes her hand in fear and applies the blood coming out of it on queen's face with a brush, which revealed to us that the liquid cream in the jar was also blood, and the queen was applying blood to her face. All this was very strange, but not for them. It all seemed normal to them. Even the queen applied the blood on her lips. In this scene, we see Lady Margit having dinner with the queen. Lady Margit was very surprised to see so much food, because they hardly get food to eat at home. Even her two sisters were sent to the convent so that their food expenses could be reduced. Here the queen also tells her to take care of Margit's health and orders her to use as much fruit and honey as possible, which is used to make blood and to purify it. Now the queen asks a maid to bring honey. When the maid offers Margit honey, Margit notices deep wounds on her hand. When Margit asked her how she got these wounds, she answered in fear that she got these wounds while working in the kitchen, and this confused Margit. In the meantime, the queen called her dogs to meet Margit. The dogs did not look like pets at all. They were behaving like wild dogs. Looking at those dogs, not only Margit, but all the maids here were also scared, but the queen forces everyone here to feed those dogs with her own hands. Margit was very happy in this castle because she did not know what would happen to her in the future. She wanted to make friends with Ava here anyway, but Ava's stubbornness was that she could not make friends with Margit because they are not equal. Anyway, after Ava's departure, Margit goes to sleep, and in the middle of the night, she hears someone crying. She comes out and asks Ava about it. Ava says nothing. This castle is at the height of the mountain, so often the sound of the wind feels like this. You go and sleep. But despite Ava's satisfaction, Margit felt something strange. That's why she took the light and went out for an investigation, and from where the sound of crying was coming, she started walking in that direction. The door through which the sound was coming was a terrace. As Margit started going inside the terrace, the guards stopped her, saying that it is forbidden to go there at this time. In the next scene, we witness a gruesome event unfolding on the other side of the terrace. A girl was chained up, and hungry dogs were set upon her as honey was poured over her. It can be seen that this whole scene is seen by the queen from above, and she is having a lot of fun watching this. This made it clear that the queen was only there for her own entertainment, while the girl's life was in grave danger, and the queen did not do this for the first time. In fact, there has been a lot of such things in this castle before. As we saw in the first scene of the movie, a girl was being tortured by tying her to a table, and the queen was very happy to see this torture, and the one who was repeatedly cutting and stitching the girl's wounds. It was none other than Queen Elizabeth and her special maid Ava, and from this, we can also guess that in every crime of Queen Elizabeth, Ava is equally responsible. From all of this, it seems that they have brought Margit for a similarly vile purpose. However, Margit is completely unaware of this, and she has started to consider Ava as her friend. When she sees a wound on Ava's hand, she immediately treats her, But then she saw that there were many more wounds on Ava's hand. Some of them were septic, means they were infected. Lady Margit didn't know its treatment. That's why she tells Ava to go to the doctor. Ava does not answer because she knew that Queen Elizabeth would never allow her to go to the doctor, but Margit, unaware of Queen Elizabeth's cruel nature, pleaded with her to take Ava to the doctor. The Queen agreed, pretending to be kind and compassionate. Before going to the doctor, Margit asks Ava that I have noticed that there is a deep wound on every maid's hand, foot or anywhere here. How is it possible that they all carelessly injure themselves? Ava had no answer to give her. She remained silent and moved on. Margit had started to take care of Ava, and Ava was also liking Margit. In her heart, she was thinking that she could not do what she did with the rest of the people. She thinks of getting Margit out of here at any cost, but she had to do all this secretly from Queen Elizabeth. Before she could make a plan, Queen Elizabeth orders her to bring Margit, and listening to this, Ava goes crazy with fear because she did not know that Queen Elizabeth would make Margit her prey so soon. Thinking something, she goes to the Queen, and to save Margit's life, she starts explaining to the Queen and says we can't do anything like this with Margit because Margit is from a noble family. Undoubtedly, her financial condition is not good, but people know them, and if something happens to Margit, her family will definitely question you. While interrupting Ava, Queen Elizabeth tells her that you started all this, and now why are you afraid of all this? The scene cuts and we see the past, when after the king's death the Queen was sick because of grief and her illness had taken a toll on her beauty. Because of this, she decided to die, and then Ava came to her to take care of her. Ava motivated her. She took care of her, which made her health much better than before, but now there was also a problem with her beauty, which she had lost. Due to her growing ugliness, she fell into a deep depression. One day, when Ava accidentally pulled her hair while styling it, the Queen flew into a rage and started hitting Ava with the things around her. She hit Ava so much that her head burst and started bleeding, and blood stains fell on the Queen's face, and as the Queen turned to the mirror to clean those stains, cleaning those stains, she feels her old beauty is returning because of this blood. This blood color on her face was just like her old glow. After realizing this, the Queen suddenly came out of depression, and she started using blood like a beauty product, and Ava used to do this supply for her by torturing girls, and because of this blood, Elizabeth started looking more beautiful than before in a short while. Her beauty had come back, but to maintain this, the Queen and Ava started killing girls. Now the Queen believed that the more the girls are tortured while dyeing their blood will be just as good for her beauty. Because of this, she used to torture the girls a lot. She began searching for new ways to kill and torture the girls daily, and this gradually became her twisted hobby. Now Ava was trapped with the Queen. She wanted to save Margit, but now it was the Queen's order to bring Margit to the room immediately. Now, at the Queen's behest, Ava goes to Margit, but to save Margit, Ava tells her the whole truth about how they torture girls and take out their blood. She quickly gets out of this castle and tells the police the truth. It was all very strange. Margit could not believe it at all. After hearing all these stories, Margit got scared of Ava, and instead of listening to Ava and following her instructions, she started running away from Ava and reached the Sam's special room where the Queen was waiting for Ava to come here with Margit, and she would torture her and put her royal blood on her face and increased her beauty many times. After reaching here, Elizabeth catches Margit, and to save Margit, Ava kills herself. Neither she was able to save herself nor Margit. Elizabeth tortures both of them as much as she could. She don't want Ava's blood. She tortured Ava only for their entertainment. After all this torture, Ava also died with Margit. Now she was bathing herself with Margit's blood without knowing that someone has run away from their castle. A girl who was brought here just like Margit. She somehow finds out the truth of this castle, and she cleverly steals Queen Elizabeth's diary and runs away from this castle. In this diary, the queen had written the names of all the girls she had hunted. After giving this diary to the police immediately caught Elizabeth. After all this, the whole world found out the truth of Queen Elizabeth. As punishment for her misdeeds, she was locked in her room with all the doors and windows secured. Only a small door was left open to allow food to be delivered inside. Even after staying here, the queen didn't stop her addiction. She continued to beautify herself with her own blood, even though it was hers. She began to inflict pain on herself in her pursuit of beauty, believing that she would soon die and join her husband, wanting to appear beautiful for him. Years went by, and eventually, people discovered the queen dead in her room. No one knows how she died, but everyone recognizes that this story is true. History still considers Queen Elizabeth of 1609 to be the most brutal queen, as she was involved in serial killings for many years and ultimately faced punishment for her actions.